Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel here at Watchbox Reviews. I'd really appreciate it, and I update daily. If you like this watch, you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. Buy, trade, and sell luxury watches on thewatchbox.com. Today we are discussing a 2017 standout. This is the Grand Seiko SBGA275, a spring drive automatic in stainless steel and a supremely versatile 39mm case size. You can see on my 16cm circumference wrist, it has a handsome stance, big enough but not oversized, nor is it undersized. It is a contemporary men's all-arounder. It has some elements of sports watch toughness and some elements of dress watch elegance. It's handsome and distinctive of its manufacture and relatively slim, 12.1mm thick with a sloped case flank and conical bezel, lug to lug, and if you wear it on a strap you will measure it lug to lug across the wrist. You'll find it is 47.8mm. If you include the solid end links to the bracelet, it's a more substantial but still wearable 51.1mm. And if you wish to accessorize and perhaps try your luck with an accessory strap, 19mm is the lug spacing. Now the case is simply gorgeous. It's also nicely curved. As you can see, there's a little bit of a camber or an arc, a taper, from side to side, from lug tip to lug tip, so that the watch actually wraps around your wrist rather than flaring out. I would say you could wear this watch on a wrist as small as 13.5cm circumference. At the lower end of the scale, close to 13.5, you may want to wear it on a strap, but certainly on the bracelet you could wear it as small as 14cm circumference. It would look good, it would feel good, and stay planted. The bracelet is a nice piece. I have to say that it's nicely made in that it features a good deal of contrasting finish, subtleties such as the beveled and rounded edge, and upscale features like removable links fixed by screws. The clasp is impressive, both because it's quite solid and because it's quite flat, so there's really no hazard of desk diving damage. It may scuff on occasion, but it's not going to be as vulnerable to disfigurement as a dive clasp. Now it does have twin trigger release, so it's quite secure. It's not friction fit, it's not a cheap clamshell. It's an upscale bracelet and clasp that looks good and feels even better. As you can see on the underside, broad gaps between the links to avoid pinching skin, pulling hair, or trapping heat on the wrist on a hot day. The case is gorgeous. I'm going to try to get a little bit closer and bring everything into focus. Now you can see that the case profile is quite nuanced. First there's the satin finish of the flank, but notice how the satin finish sheer of the case tapers dramatically and gives way to these transitional bevels that are all of high polish. This is the legendary Grand Seiko tin plate Zaratsu polish. I say tin plate because it is literally a spinning tin plate against which the watch's cases are applied by hand pressure and eye. So this is a millimetrically precise industrial product that is nevertheless hand finished, and it takes an expert's feel and experience to execute this symmetrical from side to side, despite the fact that it is done manually. You'll also note that the combination of satin and polish is judiciously chosen so that the watch doesn't appear like a monolithic mass of metal. Now we're close to the watch and it's off the wrist, so we may as well increase the aperture, get a bit more light. Now you can really see the glittering facets of that case to good advantage, but it's the dial that sets most Grand Seiko watches apart from competitors available, not just in the class, but also a cut above. This is a dial that's as well made as something you might expect from Rolex. First, the blue sunburst is sensational, and the well-chosen shock of red at the end of the counterweighted Lancet-style seconds hand is absolutely delicious. I applaud the use of all applied indices, diamond polished and laid down by hand, as well as a polished aperture for the date and an applied power reserve scale with both satin and polished facets. The watch does have a 3-day power reserve, and the same degree of attention to detail is lavished on the Dauphine style hands at center, which have flatted tops and beveled polished edges. They are absolutely gorgeous. Now you can tell that this is a 2017 and later Grand Seiko because of the presence of the GS Grand Seiko rather than bare Seiko logo at 12 o'clock. For 2017, that was a change. Seiko disappeared and it became Grand Seiko at 12. Functionally though, the spring drive caliber remains a masterpiece. Now this is the spring drive caliber 9R65, 30 joules, 3-day power reserve, plus or minus 15-second per month precision. That's not per day, that's per month. Remember, a COSC Swiss chronometer is -4 + 6 per day. The nice thing about spring drive is that all of the energy comes from a spring. There's no battery, there's no capacitor. The only electronics are powered by an induced current that is itself generated by the spring energy. You can see the governing wheel. I'll try to get as close as I can here because this really does work best with a visual supplement, but you can see the governing wheel that spins only in one direction. It's propelled by the spring force. It creates an induced electrical current that wakes up a quartz oscillator that itself reads and regulates the speed of the spinning wheel by means of a back EMF. So you have the wheel metering the power from the spring and a mechanical drivetrain powered by the spring, regulated by that spinning wheel, drives all three hands. Now you'll note the seconds hand is completely smooth. There are no steps. That is distinctive of spring drive, and it's something you're only ever going to see on Seiko, Grand Seiko, Crador, and exactly 118 individual pieces from Piaget, which has been the only Swiss house to attempt to clone this technology. They made their 118 and they gave up. Grand Seiko remains in possession of the field. Now the movement, in addition to mechanical sole assembled and regulated by a watchmaker and propelled by a spring, gives you refinements such as hacking or stop seconds, and there's also a quick set for rapidly cycling the date. You can see this piece, the Grand Seiko SBGA275, on our website and make it yours. And we're back with the Grand Seiko SBGA275 Spring Drive Automatic. Automatic winding, 3-day power reserve, 100-meter water resistance, and luminescence. This could easily be your only watch because it has many features that one would consider essential in a sports watch. A true all-arounder. Only you can decide it's for you, but this is a watch that can do it all for all. See it on the watch box.